ahead.
Hi, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon. Um, Thank you for your time. Are you recording, Miss Burton?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Thank you for your time and thank you for being on time. I know it's hard, like when everybody's busy, to take your time to be at a meeting. I really appreciate that. As people will be coming, as I said, we want to start our discussion because we have a fully loaded agenda, a lot of things that we can discuss for tonight. So the time is 7:37. I will call the meeting to order. Our November 1st, 2022 meeting will start now. I will ask if anybody received the minutes, like I usually ask. I know it was late. And I also will ask if I can get someone to approve the minutes of the meeting or our last meeting on October 4th. Can I get someone to approve the minutes of the last meeting?
Dell Bennett approves the minutes from the last meeting.
Thank you. Can I have someone to second?
Jackie Williams, second motion.
Thank you. I have to give you a report of from the last meeting until now, what I have been doing before we go to the unfinished business. So between from the last meeting, I had a conversation with several people. Among them, I spoke to Miss Chamberlain from Brooklyn Outreach. She's the Brooklyn Outreach coordinator for the parks, New York City Parks, I think they call the organization. So a lot of those things that we mentioned, including the tree pruning that we want to do, the balls that people would like to have, we spoke about that. And we even spoke about, one of the events that I need to put together, the fair, the healthy eating, healthy cooking fair. From that conversation, what I learned is like there's a lot of things that a lot of assistance that I can get from the partnership, kind of. Um, so after today, I will continue the conversation because, um, Miss Chamberlain really wanted to assist our community. So I also have some new development for people who wanted the bulb for to plant. So this I will discuss that later on in the agenda, but this is one of the things that I have done. Another thing also that I have to report. I have to report that I did a walkthrough to Pawtucket Park with Miss Fraser to look at, and we saw the condition of the park. A lot of um, leaves on the park. It was not clean at all. So I think I don't know the condition for the other parks, and maybe members can report what you saw in the other parks, and if there is anything at all that we need to talk about. If the community want to kind of do something about it, because I was like upset the way that I saw the park, the Pottergate Park. I don't know if they even cleaned that on a Friday because we saw that yesterday. So if you have anything, I would love to hear from that. If members can, if you notice anything from the parks or the area, because our community need to be clean. So that's my thing. Also for I don't think that thing that I need to report is the permit. I work with the office back and forth. It was not an easy task. Thank you, Miss Barton. And the time for our tree lighting ceremony will change from 6 to 9 to 4 to 8. So I think it's something that I want to discuss with you because I will have people to volunteer their time, and it's no longer 6 p.m. It's 4 p.m. that we have the permit, and everything needs to be done by 8 p.m., including cleaning and everything. So I think this is something that we need to discuss for the people who would love to volunteer and come to the park, so you know how early your assistance will be needed. So I will leave it there. If anyone needs to comment on what I just said or ask me question, I'm happy to answer before we move to unfinished business. Any question, any comment, I'm happy to answer.
Um, regarding, hi, this is Carlene, Gordon. Regarding the state of the park, are we planning to have a cleanup before our event, or call sanitation in to to take care of it, or are we going to do it ourselves? Or can we
I
make
think
this like a community thing where we invite the community out to come and help us clean up the park?
I'm glad that you mentioned that. I haven't think about that, but I'm glad that you mentioned that. I think it's a great idea. So we can do something to make sure that it's clean and not like, let's say that we come on the day of the event to come and do the decoration, and then I find a park like this. It's a disaster. So thank you for that. I think that we should do something and make sure that the park is clean before the event. I take a note for that. Thank you, Miss Gordon. And I see Mr. Tate and
Okay.
Miss Bennett. Yes, so go ahead, Mr. Tate.
Sorry, Miss Bennett was there before.
Oh,
Go ahead.
okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Miss Bennett?
let's go right ahead, George. Now I was going to say it's a good idea to start a little bit earlier. This way we have some daylight to deal with instead of doing everything in the dark. But it's a good idea to start. You said 4 to 8 or 4 to 6? Chair.
Yeah.
You said
Okay.
you're going to start at 4 o'clock?
Yeah, they get the permit from 4 to 8. But I spoke to Miss Fraser, and she also think it's a great idea because it's dark early and it will be cold maybe. So
Yeah.
the only issue is like, people will be volunteering. If you are taking off coming from work and volunteer,
Yeah, that's a good idea. Earlier is a little bit better.
okay, thank you. Thank you. Mhm.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yes,
Mr.
yeah, George Tate. Good evening, everyone. Yes, I do believe that last year was from until 8 o'clock. That's what it is. They had we got here a little early to set up, and the festivities started were exactly from 6 to 8. So
Okay.
that's how that happened last year.
Okay.
Okay, but I wanted to
It's not
mention
something new.
also. Excuse me.
No, no, I said I thought that it was new because I was looking at the
Yeah,
flyer
yeah.
previously. Yeah, the people. Okay, great.
Yes, yes. But also, I just want to chip in on the thing about the leaves, the condition of the park. Okay, we have to take into consideration that the leaves are falling. In defense of the park, people, right now, yes, the park is going to be full of leaves because they had to rake it every day because they were they clean one day because I know my I have a friend who lives on right across the street from there, and every day he cleans up and it's the same thing. The leaves come back again. Another person on Avenue D, every day he's blowing leaves because of the trees. So um, let's let's see what happened. Yeah, it would be good. We could call and ask the park department to clean up because
Mhm.
they have their own cleanup crew. The sanitation does not go in the park. Okay, so we do. That's the it's not the responsibility of the sanitation department, it's the responsibility of the parks department. So if we call sanitation, sanitation gonna tell us it's not our, they have their own cleanup. But yes, we could ask them to clean up the leaves, but I have seen them. I walk around the park every single night. I do my jogging and thing. So one day it's clean and the next day it's not. Because up to last night they had about 10 bags of leaves and Farragut right at the corner of Farragut and Albany, and they have some more by the entrance of Albany, waiting for the pickup. But again, this is a daily thing. As long as the leaves keep falling, that's going to happen for us maybe the next 2 or 3 weeks. So let's just keep that in mind before we get too tough with them.
Okay. So now I understand what you just said. For that, let's go back to Miss Gordon idea though, because we know that this might happen on the day of the event. So let's go back to the check of the park. Like, do we think that doing that the day before or the morning before? Because it was like a lot when we visited yesterday, me and Miss Fraser. It was a lot. So um what do you all think about like checking the park before? Are we saying that on the day before we need to check or call someone? What do you think? How do we want to handle that? Because this might happen on the day of the event as well.
This is
Well,
Jackie Williams.
okay. Okay.
I'm sorry. I feel that we could check the day before, but I don't think you will have as many leaves falling in December.
Right. Right.
You know,
Mhm.
prior to this event, I think by the end of November, or if not the middle of end of November, the leaves will have stopped falling. And also, I think too, I think we should reach out to the park department for the cleanup of the park. We as a committee could go and survey the park, and I would say do it the day before, and then if need be, because you might not be able to get the park's cleanup crew to come at close to on close to the event if they haven't already cleaned it up to do it, and then that's when our committee could kick in. But I think the first line of approach should be to engage the parks cleanup committee, a cleanup crew to clean up the park.
Maybe we should have a
That's really
letter with the
cool.
date of the event. Maybe a letter can be put together with the date of the event, and an official letter should be sent out. I don't know.
That's a good idea, but I think we should engage them.
Okay, great,
It will,
great.
as a last resort,
Mm.
then the committee, because we do want it to be a nice affair and we want it to be clean. So as a last resort, then we could do it. But I think initially we should really try and engage the parks group cleanup crew.
Okay, great, great, great. Mhm. I
Yes,
see. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
agree with
Mr.
Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Jackie saying that
Hmm.
that's why I mentioned that the leaves, like it's going to be like this for the next 2, 3 weeks. By December, when we have this, there won't be any leaves there. But yes, I do agree that we need to check with the parks department,
Hmm.
make sure that the park is clean. But I would not wait till the day before. I would probably approach them like a week
Mm-hmm.
in advance
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
then keep telling them because if we wait till the day before, they may say they don't have people available.
Mm-hmm.
So I would tell them the week before we have the event and we would like the park to be clean for that date. So please ensure that the park is clean because if we wait till the day before, we may not get it clean. So I would suggest approaching them a week prior to the event.
Thank you. Anybody else want to add anything before we move to another item on the agenda? Anything?
I'm sorry, I just have a quick question. What date is the tree lighting ceremony
December 16th.
of December?
Yeah.
Okay,
From 4
thank
to
you.
8. Yeah.
And which
December.
park is this?
We use Podegate Park, which is on Albany and between Foster. I forgot the next street.
Farragut, Farragut Road.
Yeah, Farragut Road. Thank you, Mr. Tate. Yeah. And oh, I also have to report that the letters um, are going out to the elected officials. So they received the letters. I don't have a list of who received the letters, but I saw Ms. Barton send a lot of letters out to the councilmen, assemblywomen, so the elected officials are receiving the letters. Letters to the churches, I have not seen one, but they are ready to go out too. I remember that some members wanted to take letters to their churches, so I will reach out to you after today, and so we can work something together. So you know where to go and pick up the letters, because I will try to print some of them and have them at the office. So members who wanted to give letters to their churches, you can please reach out after so we can work on that, because we need donation, we need people to be involved. Also, the flyer that you had before, you will receive a new flyer because the time has changed from 6 to 4. So if someone is coming and they have the 6 p.m., the children will miss the gift. So we will send the new flyer to you. The same flyer, but the date has been changed. So just
Great.
let other people know about it. Yeah. Any question, any idea, and then we can move to the next item if there is nothing. All right. So let's move to some oh, someone want to ask something? Okay. So let's move to some unfinished business. An update on the discretionary fund for this event. Um, I don't have the final decision, but the board, the executive board, people are saying yes. Hopefully, we will have it, and this will be uh, for us to buy things. So I have a list of toys and things that were used before, that people bought before. I get this list from Miss Fraser. So I'm putting something together. As soon as we are okay for the money, then we can start buying the things. So Miss Fraser told me that for the beginning of November, this is when money can be allocated. So everything will be set. I will email you the list if there is anything you want to add from that list, so I can submit that to Ms. Fraser for the money so we can start buying. The document that I received from Ms. Fraser is from a company that were already approved. So we don't have any issue with approval. I will be using the same company that they bought from before. Um, so if you have any question for me, I will take it now. Any suggestion, I will take it as well. But this is what will happen. This has to happen before our next meeting, because our next meeting will be somewhere in December. By that time, we need to have the toys or any item that we know we will need before our next meeting. Everything needs to be there. That's the hope. So if you have any question or suggestion from me, anybody who did this event before, if you want to comment on that, I will be happy to kind of hear what you have to say. Even if you didn't do this event before, if you have any idea for me, that's fine too. I'll take it. I hear a noise, but I didn't hear anybody.
Phone is acting up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yes.
Oh, yes, hands down. What I'm going to say is,
Hello?
I said I believe we have presents left over from
Your, your
before,
sound, I don't know
and
if
they're already
anybody else can,
wrapped. But I like to know
anybody else can hear you, but
how many.
it's not clear. I don't know if anybody else can hear Miss Bennett.
Can you hear me?
It's hard for me to
Can you hear me now?
hear. Yeah,
Can you hear me now?
a little bit better.
Can you hear me?
It's a little bit
Okay.
better. Yeah.
What I was going to say is, what about the presents? We want to know how many do we have put away already?
I have to look at the list that I picked up from Miss Fraser, because it was the list that was used before. What I will do, I will send that to the members, and then you let me know if you want me to add or take some of those items out. Is that the question? Because I have heard.
No, the presents for the children.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. Yeah, I got a list from Miss Fraser. Yeah, the thing that was that they bought before. I was about to use the same list. I will send that to the group, you let me know if you want me to add more or if you have any other suggestion. Yeah, this is for the present for the kids. Yeah.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes, better now. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, what about the presents that were wrapped prior for the other years, and how many do we have left over?
Oh, you mean that in the office, you think that we might have presents that are already there?
We didn't use them all. How many do we have left over?
I don't know because I saw a little box in the office yesterday. Miss Fraser said that I can come with the members so we can do an estimate. So I will do that. But the box was not that big. So I don't know, if there is a lot of things in that box. It was not that big to me.
I
But
don't know how many are left.
yeah.
Okay, this way we know how much extra we have to get
Okay.
and
So
wrap.
yeah, okay. So yeah, she said that I can come with members to do an estimate. So I can see who is available to go with me so we can, look at it. But it doesn't look like a big box to me. But yeah, I can go with whoever is free. I can send an email. So whoever is free can let me know, and then we can go one day, take the box out and do an estimate and see. Although it doesn't look big, but maybe the box might have some item in it. Yeah.
This is Jackie Williams.
Mhm.
In purchasing the toys, I know the funds have to be available to initiate that, but we need to think in terms of a date that, once the funds, hopefully we can get funds soon, because if you place the event is in December, and if we place the order sometime toward the second week or third week of November, we might not have them in time. So I think we need to be mindful of the, initiating the order.
Yeah, that's what Miss Fraser said. She said, have everything ready. Just the last step will be here is the money. So, meaning that by by the end of this week, I should be putting, all the gifts together and, the list together and send it to the members. That's what she said. Everything is ready. So the only one thing is the money is ready to pay whatever we have on the list. Yeah,
Mm.
that's what she said. Yeah. So it's a lot of things to be done by this before the beginning of next week, kind of. Yeah. So just watch for my email because I will send you an email. I will send an email to the group so we can work that out by next week. Miss Fraser can have everything so she can have them, whatever we need should be on that list. Anything that is left is something that maybe we can go locally, like wrap papers or those little things. But the toys itself, um, the list will be ready and go to Miss Fraser. So if I, just watch for your email, because after today we will work by email to finalize the list. I know not everybody will be, available, but whoever can advise me when you receive the list, please do so. Yeah, it's very time sensitive right now. Yeah. Thank you. I thank you, Miss Bennett. We just speak. Thank you, Miss Williams as well. Thank you. Any other idea before I move to the next item? Or also for someone wants to talk. Sorry. No. I know. After my unfinished business, I know some members were reaching out to some people after I finish. Please be ready to give me anybody you contacted, anything that you want to add. I would love to hear that because I think some of you were trying to contact some people. So let's move now. If there is nothing on that beautiful event that I so love, tree lighting ceremony, we can. Someone want to speak? I'm sorry. Sometimes I hear someone, I don't hear anything. Okay. So at the last meeting, we were talking about a Curb Your Dog project where some members talked about the lack of signs in our neighborhood, in the park or around where we have the issue of, people didn't do the right thing for their dog. And with the contribution of, I think Miss Alexandra is here, Flatbush Cleanup. She emailed me some beautiful posters that can be used, and then we can, I know it's hard to think about if we can use it inside of the parks, because I think that there is so many restrictions in terms of what we can do inside of the parks. However, if members need to use that in their neighborhood, if they can use them, I think it's something that we can use. So I know that Miss Alexandra is multitasking. If you want to say more about the posters, I would be happy, because she can email that to any member who would love to have those little posters to post in your specific area. So if you can unmute yourself, I will really happy if you can discuss that, because I know that she can send an email as well and a link where people can download that. I don't know if you all think it's a great idea, but I think it's a great idea, even if we can use them in the park. But uh, people with their dogs are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. If we can use those posters just like some type of awareness, that's a great idea. So, Alexandra, do you want to say a few words about these posters, if you can?
Yeah, I mean, so
Yes.
I'm a public health graduate. I figured that maybe one approach we could take with trying to get the message out to our neighbors is public health education. So the flyers say a couple different things, such as, you know, dog waste, which a lot of people don't know. Dog waste, if not picked up, runs into storm drains and technically poisons our water supply, contaminates our water supply, however you want to put it. So there's a few different variations of sort of public health messages around why you should pick up your dog's waste. So I'll put a link to the poster shortly, so anybody should be able to download it. I'll also put my email address in the chat right now. And if you like, you can email me and I can email you right back with the attachment.
Yeah, thank you so much. I know someone wanted to say something. I don't know if Mr. Tate wanted to speak.
No, yeah, I was saying that was a good idea about emailing the posters or the flyer. So maybe if we could just send it out to the whole committee, I would just suggest say let's email it to the whole committee, and whoever wants it, rather than have individual people asking for it. It's something they could just do a mass mail out. That's it.
Okay, good. So if someone is I just wanted to know if someone is against sending this to everybody. So I want to hear from you. Do you think that's a good idea, as Mr. Ted said, just send it to everybody instead of someone specifically request for it?
This is Bree DaCosta. I love that idea because, a lot of our neighbors do not pick up after their dogs, and so it is a bit problematic. I just wonder if there's something that is a little bit more, permanent that we can do. I know that would obviously cost money, but is there an opportunity to turn these flyers into, actual signs that, can weather, rain and things like that? So they're more permanent?
So what we did actually is we laminated them, and I just punched holes in the signs with a regular hole puncher to put them up on fences, or string them around trees, not attach them to trees. And they've actually held up pretty well in the weather for over a year with just a lamination.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, thank you for the clarification.
Also, a quick question. So when you said that, so it's up to the members to laminate them on their own. So they will receive the pen to print and then they will laminate them on their own, correct?
Yes, exactly. We've had events in the past where We printed and laminated a whole batch for our neighbors to take with them at our cleanups. There may be another event soon where we can do that, but I think probably the fastest thing to do would be email them to everyone via the group or individually. And then if you take it to Kinko's, it's like a couple dollars to laminate one.
So, do you all agree that an email can be sent out to all the members with the posters, or do you have any objection on that? Anybody object on that idea?
Sounds good.
Okay, so there is no objection. Okay,
No
thank you.
objections.
Okay, thank you. So, third, oh, Ms. Bennett, yes. Yeah, Ms. Bennett, you raise your hand? Yes. Someone needs to be muted. 01, can you please mute yourself? Cell phone number 01.
Understand how to clap it. It's a good idea. Eliminate the signs to come up in the fences or the platforms, because I've been walking in the area and it smells like a dog park. It stinks. Dogs. Nobody wants to clean up behind them.
Great idea. Okay. So, email again will be coming to you. So that's one email that will be coming. So now let's move to the tree pruning project. Also at the last meeting, we had a long conversation about.
Excuse me, Ms. Antoine,
Yes.
someone has a TV on in their background. Could they mute themselves?
Yeah, it's 01. I said that, but nobody answered. The cell phone 516. Can you mute them from your post hour capability? Yeah. Voice is still here. 516 phone number, the last number 01. Can you mute yourself, please?
Yes, I just turned down the TV. Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Who is calling from the 516 number?
This is Yolanda Belcher.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So, from the last meeting, we mentioned a lot of, we had a great conversation about tree pruning project, like we need our area to be green, all of those things. But some people object because sometimes they have tree planting and it's not being well taken care of. I remember that too. However, we have some bulb that we can get 1 or 2 bags. So I wanted to ask people which park they think can benefit from this, because we can still do planting, because we could probably receive 1 or 2 bags of bulb. But the idea is like, if we receive that, which part do you think can benefit from this? Because we can use that to do a project. To make green.
Couldn't hear what you were saying. You were breaking up.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, because we can get, I know that some people wanted the to have some bulbs at the last meeting. This was mentioned. However, in one of the email that Miss Bolton forwarded to me, I think we can receive some that we can use to plant. Let me see. I wanted to know which park we think that we can use this, which park do we can you think that can benefit from this project if you receive that. I think it's 1 or 2 bags according to the email. Ms. Barton can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what it is, 1 or 2 bags that we can receive. Which park do you think can benefit from that? Those are they call them the daffodil bulbs. Yeah. So yeah.
Yes. Well, it's not just the parks, also it's the green space areas. We can put them there also.
Mhm. Where is it?
We, around the community, we also are responsible for the green space areas. So if we put them there, that would also spruce up a little bit more, not just one or two parks, but the whole area. The green space zones.
And the only thing that I was thinking, putting them is one, following them and taking care of them is something else as well. So I think those two conversations should happen together because people were, mentioned that before.
Well, a lot of the green space areas in my area on Kings Highway are close to the homes. They're in front of people's homes. So taking care of them is not too hard. And the city does come by and clean and manicure the green space areas.
So you said Kings Highway, where in Kings Highway?
Kings Highway, Clarendon, Kings Highway, Beverly, those are the green space areas.
Okay,
They're
Clarendon.
part of the parks. They're part of the parks committee.
Okay, Beverly. All right. Okay, so maybe I can take a walk through and see this area. Yeah. Hopefully. So who else has any idea? I know Miss Bennett just mentioned Kings Highway will be the Clarendon, Beverly, those areas will benefit from it. Who else has any idea? Because we don't want to waste this beautiful donation that we can get. Any idea for green space that can benefit from it? Or if you don't have any idea now, maybe you can email me because email also works well if you want to email. Something that I forgot to put on this agenda, but I can ask for permission to talk about it. I know that we mentioned the children park that need renovation. I didn't talk about that when I was doing my report, but I also had a phone conversation with Miss Chimbley about assistance with the children park that need renovation. I don't know if the group wants to give me permission to talk about that right now because I forget to mention that when I was doing my report. Anybody object for me to
No.
talk about that? Okay. So because we are talking about all the projects, um, I spoke to Miss Chumbley. She's the booking outreach coordinator for the parks. I think parks, New York City parks. That's what they call it. I think. One of the things that we had requested is a working collaboration for Tilden Park. I know that I saw Miss DeCosta on the line. Um, so one of the things that was mentioned before is the condition of Tilden Park. So the update that I can give you about it is because from, from what she said, she will, try to work with me and see what needs to be done. But on my hand, I need to go to do a walkthrough and see what needs to be done because I never visited this park. I don't really know what needs to be done there. Because this was mentioned at the meeting, I mentioned that as something that needs to be done, but I don't even know what needs to be done. So if anyone is on this line and would like to describe the issue on the park, Children Park, I will really appreciate that because I forgot to speak about it when I was doing my report. I see Ms. DeCosta, if you want to talk about that, the issue on Children Park, I will really appreciate that.
Sorry, I'm trying to unmute myself.
Okay.
Is this in regards to the planting, or is it in regards to just the overhaul of the park and wanting to get budget to really, kind of redo the playground for the children? Which issue are we discussing?
The playground, the playground, yes.
So I think last year my husband really kind of had a lot of involvement in those discussions, but I do know just, because our children play in the park very often, that, the equipment is dated, it's, a bit rusty, and I don't know when the last time is that the park has have been updated. But we generally will take our children to other parks because they have better equipment, they have more variety, you know, that our park just, you know, a couple blocks away does not offer. So, you know, hopefully at some point we'll be able to get budget for the community board that we can allocate to the park, just to, you know, make sure that our children in this area have a good park to play on, especially for equipment that's adaptive for children who have disabilities, just, you know, a wider range of playground equipment. Right now, the swings are just for babies. They don't have swings for older children. So there's just a lot that I feel like can be done to update the park.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for mentioning that.
This is Jackie Williams. I certainly agree with Ms. DaCosta. Tilden Park, which is right next door to my house, it needs a lot, okay? The asphalt, the grass is growing broken, and there's grass growing all the way through the equipment, really. And then when we did the walk through the park, I think Mr. Tate was you when we did it. I think we did it sometime last year. We talked about the needs of it. You know, the painting, there's chip paint, and it's really in need. It's in disrepair, and it really needs to be updated.
Okay, great. Because when I spoke about it, I never visited the park. I couldn't. I said that members mentioned that you know you need repairs, but I didn't know. Thank you so much. So by the next meeting, I should be able to report back, because you know I will present whatever you just told me, and hopefully something good will come out of this. Yeah. Anybody else know something about Children Park that you want to report to me, so I can report back when I meet again with Miss Assembly?
I have one more thing to add. I'm sorry, this is Bree DaCosta again. I feel like last year when you guys did the walkthrough, there was someone who was supposed to meet you there and they didn't show up. So I don't know if we can try to meet with somebody again to walk them through the park.
Who was that? Do you know?
I can't remember. George, do you remember who was supposed to meet with us to walk through the park?
Yes, what happened? The gentleman who was supposed to meet with us, excuse me, he couldn't make it, but he did send someone to represent him. And after that is when they sent on the estimate of what it would cost to repair each part, which the guy that he could make it, but he sent out the estimate, which it was talking about total $10 million
Wow.
for the renovation.
No kidding.
The reason I said that is because I would like to know where this project was before, because I spoke to one of the council member about park renovation, but I didn't explain anything. So if there is an estimate, is it something that we can get, or do we have to start from scratch? Because if there is something already done, can we follow up on that? And who can I contact to follow up on that instead of starting from scratch? Anybody have any idea? Yeah.
Ms. Antoine, I didn't send you the email with the estimate for the 3 different things that he gave us, that is total of $10,000.
Or you will send it to me?
Yeah, I thought I did.
Oh,
I
no.
thought I sent it to everyone, as a matter of fact. But if not, I'll look it up and I'll send it out again.
Yeah, thank
Because
you.
rather than start from scratch again, we already have a number there.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
know each year it may change, but this was from last year. So
Yeah, because if you have something else, I don't want to
yeah,
start. Yeah, if someone already did
yeah,
something and it was great, I
yeah.
can use it and move forward. Okay.
Yes, and I did that. I did give that to a representative from the council member office, because yeah, to put it in regarding, you know, with her participatory budgeting, I say that's what something that's needed.
Okay, so I will wait for your email, Mr. Tate, then I can review that
Yes.
and we can move forward and see how we can move forward with this project. Because, you know, since I started, you know, people mentioned that, so we need to move forward with that one. Okay, thank you so much. I will wait for that email. Yeah. So it's 3 estimates, right?
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. All right. Anything else before we move? Because we have some more important things. Okay. Nothing heard. I can move to the next thing. Um, Now I didn't do a roll call before the committee member reports. Anything? I want to hear if you did anything from our last meeting. So let's do a roll call quickly. Um, just introduce yourself quickly so we can have that recorded. I have the phone number 347 and the last number is 80. Can you please state your name? Nothing heard. I can move to Ms. Bennett.
To Davis Smith.
Sorry?
To Davis Smith. I
Okay,
said it
thank you.
earlier. I'm not sure if you heard me before.
Okay, thank you, thank you. I have Ms. Bennett. Just say hi. Say your name and say hi.
Hello, Adele Bennett, committee member.
Thank you. I have the phone number with 516. The last number is 01.
Yes, that's me, Yolanda.
Thank you. I have a phone number 347. No, no. I have Miss Alexandra. Can you just state your name and say hi?
Hello.
I have G. Lois. Can you please say your full name and say hi? I have Louis G. J like Jerome Louis. Okay, move to I have Watson.
Watson, member of
How are you? Yeah. I have. Thank you. I have Jackie. Getting heard. Um, Miss Gordon.
Yes, good evening, Carlene Gordon, committee member.
Thank you. I have Mr. Tate.
Yes, good evening again, George State Committee member, board member.
Thank you. Ricky DeCosta.
Yes, good evening. Ricky DeCosta, committee member, board member.
Thank you. Did I miss anybody? If I miss you, please state your name for the record. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. All right. From the last meeting, I know some people said that they will follow up on some items. Like I know someone was contacting the center for our event. Did you get a chance to do anything? I don't know if it's Miss William or Miss Bennett. Anybody want to report on anything that they were trying to do from the last meeting until today for the committee? Getting heard. Miss Williams, were you the one? I don't have the minutes in front of me. Were you the one contacting Mr. George?
Jackie Williams?
Yes. No?
No. Mr. George? No.
Oh, okay. Because I know I don't have the minutes in front of me, but
Okay, Miss Turner. Miss Turner,
oh,
who is absent tonight. She's
um,
she's contacting Mr. George.
Mr. George. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you know, as we are buying the gift, we want to make sure that Mr. Senta is also on board. All right. Okay. Anything else that someone wants to report from our last meeting? Anything that you Anybody you contacted, any churches that you contacted, anything that you need from me, or any letter or flyer, uh, anything that you have done before? Because I want to hear from you too. No? Okay. Thank you. So now let me go to the new business if there is nothing that someone needs to mention. As a new business, I already mentioned the time change for the tree lighting ceremony, which is new. Now I want to talk about a partnership request from Councilman Farah Lewis' office. So I was approached last week by a representative from Councilman Farah Lewis, who wanted to partner with our community for the tree lighting ceremony. As a matter of fact, they asked me if I want to change the date, which was so funny. I said I already have my date in my permit date, so there is no change. But they wanted to partner. So now I want to discuss that with you and see if this is something that you will welcome, and if yes, what do you see as a partnership with the councilman's office? So the first question, do you have any objection in the partnership? Any objection with this partnership? That's the first question.
Definitely no.
No,
No objection.
none.
None at
None.
all.
No, okay, thank you. So now I didn't hear any objections. So let's move now to what do you see as a partnership? Because I have to meet with them again on the 4th, November 4th, which is Friday, because I have to discuss that with you and go and meet with the Office of Councilwoman Farah Lewis. So in terms of partnership, they said that they have a tree, although I saw a tree at the park, and Miss Fraser told me that this tree is the one that we can decorate. But the councilman's office also said they have a tree that can be used, and they can do some other things. But I want you to tell me, in terms of partnership, what do you want to see as a partnership for that event? What type of partnership do you think that I can agree? Like, let's say that they said something with me. What type of partnership do you think I can agree with? Yeah, Mr. Ted.
Maybe get the kids involved. I don't know. The kids are ones that like Christmas and stuff. Get the kids involved with decorating it and stuff, and putting it, putting it together and all that. Make a day of it, something like that.
All right.
A decorating day that we can get our local kids involved. I don't know, something
That would
like
be
that.
lovely.
So you think that we can use the office of the councilman to have the local kids involved in our event, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Tate.
Yes, I think it's a good idea to continue with them in a partnership. They have done it in the past. They normally try to do that. But my suggestion in terms of partnership, one, I would ask them if they could get a bigger, bigger tree, a taller tree than what they had last year. Because to me, the tree that it was an artificial tree, but it was too small. I really think it was hard to see from the outside unless you were in the park. So if it's possible that I could get a bigger tree, and I did talk to Kamara Jackson from and uh, the Just whatever I forgot her first name from her office, from the council member office. They all of us agree that we could use a bigger tree than what we had. So maybe you could talk to her and see if they could get a bigger tree. Additionally, partnering with them, we could also ask them to make sure that the park is clean, because they will have a little, they will listen more to the council member. They could put more pressure on them to have the park, make sure the park is clean. But also they did have some, I guess, giveaways in terms of like candies and cookies and things like that. So those are little things that they could do as partners.
Okay, thank you. I know that there is a from the park permit, there is a size like the tree needs to be a certain height. So I have to double check that too. Yeah. So a lot of requirements for this permit. Okay, thank you. But I can see I can discuss that. Yeah. Anybody else with any idea that things that you want me to discuss in terms of this partnership for the next meeting on the 4th with the councilman's office? Any idea? So I have the tree, I have the giveaways, and I have the parks that they can make sure that it's clean ahead of time. I have the kids' involvement that they can help facilitate that. What else? Already 8:32. Yeah. What else you want me to bring at this partnership meeting? Nothing heard?
Finances. Finances. How much money?
Yes, money. Yes, okay, finance. Okay. Okay, so you mean that how much money they can give to our community without them buying anything, just give the money to our community, right?
Yeah. Why not? Why not? Either money or monetary, or some like donations. Like if they give tinsels or bulbs or something like that nature, or snacks for the kids, or something like that. Could be something generic.
All right. Okay.
As long as it's something, we need everybody to give towards it, so it'll be successful and it'll be good. Community Board 17, we want to be premier, and we want to have premier things too that reflect our great standing in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
So I will have this meeting on Friday the 4th. I will email the group after this meeting and let you know and provide an update. So everything that you said will be mentioned at that meeting, and I will provide an update. Whatever is agreed upon, I will provide an update.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the time now. If you have anything at all to add, anything that was not mentioned before, if you want to add anything, please do so now. Yeah, I saw a text coming. Let me see. Someone mentioned something about music. Let me see if I can read that. Christmas music in the park. I don't know if we can have, a low volume music, because our permit doesn't permit noise in the park or something. But I will, yeah. I will
Yeah,
see if
that's another thing. Yeah, that's another permit to
yes.
have sound.
Yeah. It was so difficult to get this permit. I don't know, it's so I will double check with Miss Button and see, but I doubt it. Yeah, okay.
There can be music in the park, but it cannot be big speakers. You can only use like a Bluetooth system that's not too loud.
Okay.
Because we're definitely going to, I'm sorry, I'm thinking that we're definitely going to need some Christmas music along with the celebration. Or are we going to have any choirs from the church, or any of are we going to have any, or perhaps we could just have the chorus singing?
Yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have been
That's
to
a good idea. That's a good idea. Yeah.
Jackie Williams speaking. Carolyn was mentioned, and I think that was one of the things we were going to contact the churches to see if the youth group could be help with do the Carolyn Or it
Yes.
could be a choir. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be the youth group, but that we were going to reach out to the churches. In fact, that's in the minutes from the
Yeah.
last meeting. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't move quick with that because I was waiting for the permit. I'm like, we don't have the permit. We don't even know what was.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, that
it
that
would be.
will. Yeah, that's something that I will follow up with. Yeah, because I was like, no permit, no nothing happening. Yeah. So,
Mm.
but quick question, Miss Button. For the Bluetooth music, we don't need a permit, do we?
Yes,
Not
you
not
do, but you're not allowed to have speakers in the park.
No,
Yeah, but
without the
for the
speakers.
Bluetooth, you can just have the little speakers. I have a little Bose speaker at home that's not too offensive with the with
Yeah.
the noise. But they're talking about the big speakers. Those are the ones that you're going to need the permits for. But you know what? We're so much around electronics and all of that type of stuff that I think it would be great to have a community sing along where we focus on let's all just whether we have a choir or, and this is just coming off the top of my head, bear
Okay.
with me, but whereas we could have a choir, any of them leading the community in a sing along of different, you
Different
know
stuff. Okay.
yeah, I think that would be so great. It would lift the spirits, it will get everybody involved, and I think it would just spread a nice aroma in the air. I think it would just change the atmosphere nicely to have
Mm,
Sounds like
to
a
have a
good
sing
idea.
along.
okay.
Hmm?
So that's
A
a good
great,
idea.
sounds like a great idea.
I
A
agree
great
with
idea.
Carlene. It's a great idea.
Yeah, thank you.
Uh-huh.
So I put a
You
note
have
for
to
that.
identify what songs though. What's the list of songs you're gonna sing, and who's
Yeah,
gonna sing them?
So that's
those.
something else that we
That's the
have to
next
work.
thing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right.
Good idea. Okay. Anybody else?
Mhm.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that something similar to that was on last year, and the community board treasurer Orlando Ross, he participated. He was one of the singers. He sung he sang in that, and some of the he and someone else did, but he sang for a church in his yes. So you could talk to Mr. Ross, who's the
Mhm.
treasurer,
Okay.
see if he's willing to do it again.
Oh, okay. Great.
Mhm. Okay.
So now that we have a permit, we are moving fast with everything. Okay. Thank you. I think that's all that I wanted to discuss with you, except if someone wants to add something before we put a closure to that meeting. Anything else? Anybody want to add something? That's your time to do so before we close this meeting. Nothing
Sounds
heard?
good.
Okay. So if nothing heard, our next meeting will be again on the first Tuesday of December, which will be, I think, December 6th. However, as I mentioned before December 6th, we have a lot of things to do. So when we come to our next meeting on December 6th, we should basically be reporting on things that we have done between now and December 6th. Because at the meeting, we will not have time to do all of those beautiful things that was said today. So I
Hmm.
know I will follow up with Mr. Ted. I will send you an email. A lot of things need to happen before now and December 6th. So get ready.
May I
Get
make a
ready.
suggestion?
Yes.
A suggestion is that by 2 weeks before our next meeting, all the follow-ups should be accounted for. You know what I'm saying? Whoever's working on the songs, whoever's working on the tree and all that should have it by then. So by the time our next meeting is, we'll have everything in line because December is around the corner. I mean,
That's
Christmas
right.
is around the corner. So,
Good idea.
so we need to have a target date, an end date, where everybody has completed their assignments.
Great idea.
So, yeah.
That would have to be Thanksgiving, though.
You're breaking up.
Breaking up, Miss Bennett.
It has to be before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So have it like the last Friday in November to have everybody's job done. So by December 4th, we'll have everything in sync. You know, so we'll have the target date by everybody has completed their assignments by the last Friday in November, if that sounds good to everybody. So at least, you know, we have a cutoff and people know when they have to have it all done by, rather than just leaving it open-ended until the next meeting.
So what I will do, I will send an email with the different tasks, and I will put names. And then everybody can tell me, you know, yeah, this happened where I sent email people like, oh, I didn't volunteer for this and that. That's fine, but I will send an email so people know. But I will also, if you don't receive my email by the end of this week, I will put my number in the chat. If there is any issue with your email and you don't receive my email, please give me a call, because sometimes I send email and people didn't receive the email. So I will put my phone number and my email in the chat so we can keep in touch. Because when we come to the next meeting, it should be just reporting and, you know, moving forward. We will not have time to discuss everything at the meeting.
True.
Okay, well, I'm by phone, so I'm not in the chat. I'm by phone. So, but you got my email. Ms. Barton had my email because she sent me the information about today's meeting. I'm new to the committee, so Yolanda Belcher, the 1801 telephone, the 516 number.
Okay. Okay. So we'll find you.
Yes. Well, I'm retired and I'm available, so yeah, you know, I'm available. Need assistance? I'm here. Okay.
Thank you so much. Because this event is our next event. I mean, my next event with the committee. I think that, you know, you will all help me, I'm sure, and you're already helping with those great ideas. So all that needs to be done now is, you know, to move forward with the task and to get it done. Some people also will be coming to wrap up the gift when we start having gifts. So people ask me to start wrapping gifts as they are coming. So that's an idea also to keep in mind. I will be reaching out to you to let you know we have the gift. We sent the invoice and we are waiting for the gifts. If the gifts are coming, what to do and things like that. So I have last Friday, someone just sent a text. Last Friday is the day after Thanksgiving. Okay, thank you, Ms. Bennett. So if there is nothing, we will ask someone to make a motion to adjourn this meeting. If there is nothing else.
Miss Antoine?
Yeah.
Before we close, may I add something? Yeah, because I just wanted a little correction. I don't know if the minutes were approved before I got on the call.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, because I had a little, a simple update. It's basically that where it says tropical reflection, when we were looking for places, I mentioned tropical reflection. I said the former tropical reflection, because the new name is K&L Manor. So the tropical reflection no longer exists. So if you could just add it to that formerly K&L Manor, formerly Tropical Reflections.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I don't want you looking for Tropical Reflections and it doesn't exist.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
It's new management and everything.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? Going once? Twice.
Same thing.
Yeah.
And instead of last Friday, how about the last Monday? This way it doesn't fall into the holiday time.
Say it again. You're breaking up a little bit.
Instead of the last Friday, which is the day after Thanksgiving, the last Monday. I think it's the 28th.
Okay.
That's way after Thanksgiving and way before the 1st. So we get better. We have like a sub meeting to all get together.
So, something else that I want to add, because of attendance, there is not a new policy. I just, have to tell you that I will be checking attendance and make sure that, people are attending meeting according to the executive board. We need to check attendance and have people removed from the committee. So if you know people who are part of this committee and didn't make it, please let them know. I think three missing meeting or something, you are out of the committee. So that's the rule. So if you know people that are not, part of the committee, that are part of the committee and didn't attend meetings, please let them know so we can, have them continue to be part of the committee. And thank you so much. Now I'm asking someone to make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Arlene making a motion to adjourn.
Anybody second?
Hi, Frederick Watson, second. Adjourn the meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Watson. It's 8:48 p.m. The meeting is adjourned. Our next meeting will be on December. Thank you.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I will wait for your email, Mr.
Good night.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.